What up, y'all? I know not everyone feels like listening to a 40+ minute poll plans video for the month, so I broke it up to abbreviate my thoughts in a more easily digestible way. I know half of y'all, though, ain't subscribed, so go ahead and do that. Like the video, leave a comment with what you think about the upcoming content and your plans as well. And if you want to see the whole video, I'll be providing a link to that as well. Check that out for sure. Thanks a million, and now let's get into what you're really here for, alright? Boss Rush 3. The new character, well, not the new character, but the featured character here is Wakka. He is not getting a rework, but he is getting an LD. It's got 4 uses, and it's a 100% AoE attack, and he gets a free skill after use. He drops an RNG debuff for 6 turns. The cornerstone of this debuff is that it always has brave damage up plus 20, which is nice, but the rest of it is RNG. It has a 1 out of 3 chance to be one of 3 debuffs. Should have been self-sufficient there, whatever. The stat one has attack, defense, brave, and brave down, plus minus 50%, which is hilarious. Freeze works like Setzer. Their brave cannot increase even if they attack you. The brave attack, if they do a brave gain, their brave will not increase. And the paralyzed one stuns them. It will become one or the other randomly upon application and will subsequently change after the boss attacks. And he gets attack from his limit breaks. His call ability, you already had this, 80% up to attack, defense, and brave for the caller. And his LD call is 2 turns of his LD debuff, which can be RNG. It is RNG, and it can be great if RNG is willing, though. At worst, it's a 2-turn brave damage up debuff. At best, you're going to get to abuse that 50% defense down as well, which is actually, Jack's debuff is what? 20%, 30% brave damage up, 50% defense down, or do I have that backwards? Anyways, potentially a very powerful debuff, but obviously you don't want to rely on it because it could not go the way you wanted to. What do I think about Wakka? Well, I planned to skip him in JP, and I got him on the free pull, so I built him, and I used his LD in the boss rush, and I didn't touch him again. I don't like the RNG of his debuffs. His EX is fine with the random application because it's up so fast, so everyone will generally have it, but the debuffs can... Yeah, I just don't like it. Not my play style. I was never a big fan of playing Wakka in the first place because the blinds. His kid always. He's good. He's a very good character. He provides good party buffs. He was just never my vibe. He's got stellar party buffs. It's very workable in teams. Plenty of runs with him. Plenty viable. But the debuffs are just not reliable outside of the 20% brave damage up, and I don't really feel like going for it. But I saw this good. He's definitely a good pickup. Free skill helps his longevity, although he was mostly skill spamming regardless. And he should be hitting harder now as well just because of his additional limit breaks and the brave damage up from the debuff. And I'm not too fond of his base kit with his LD slapped on, so yeah, not really my thing, but I think he's definitely a solid character. They gave him a good upgrade. Am I pulling? No. Like I said, I'll never use him. Just being real, I never did in a JP. I have no attachment to the character outside of just Albed memes. Now he does come back with Setzer, who I know most of you have on your radar as an overpowered LD, so he might be collateral down the road if you decide to skip now. But again, by that point, he's largely out of his prime, and you just be doing so for collection purposes, or maybe that boss rush, maybe. But yeah, if you want to use Wakka, this is the time to use him. I always say that. As for the fight, this was the first boss rune tuned. This is going to be the first boss rush that was tuned like it was in JP. And by that I mean it was balanced around party synergy being a thing. Same tips as usual in boss rush to try and spread out your boosted units across each party to hit as hard as possible. Try to bring a burst in each party as well, and spam skills like there's no tomorrow, because there is no tomorrow. Everything in this boss rush is immune to imperils as well, so keep that in mind. Wave 1 is a sap/poison orb, same as Trey's. This is the fight that got copy-pasted into Vincent's Abyss, minus the Imperil immunity. The beetles, they're the Rosa beetles, they are obnoxious. This wave is to sell Trey. You want to off-turn the hell out of this one. It needs to act anyways for the orb to go down. If you get broken, you'll probably just die, so try not to do that. Vincent's attack and brave down should help against that. He's not fettered by element debuffs once he gets his EX going, so maybe he might be solid here. X death should be great too. Mostly, you probably want to run Gladio here, because he won't be getting broken by the beetles, and they'll be protecting everyone countering. Again, off-turn damage. Dump your Gladio here. Trey, if you have him, great here, but lots of options for this first wave. Just make sure that you can fulfill the orb, and you should be fine. Wave 2, it's a heal orb. It's the same as the Ishtola one, and they're trying to sell her here, obviously, and this is where you want to use her. When they drop below 80 and 50% health, they cleanse, and they do a fat brave gain, and they cleanse all their debuffs. I think they wanted you to carry Trey over from the last wave, maybe, or maybe tank the attack. I don't know. It's easy to get caught off guard here and get blown up, but it is manageable. And this is the Guard Scorpions. boss, so it's kind of like the Cloud one, but not really because they don't have the paralyzed condition. Anyways, this wave is also completely unlaunchable, but you can delay them. Just know that they do have that threshold gain, and just as long as you hit the orb and you heal, you should be good here too. Wave 3, there is no orb. This is the filler wave. It's the Leon bosses. And they do the attack where they blow you up the first turn they get, and then it's generally smooth sailing from there. They do the thing where they cleanse and they give themselves a bunch of buffs, but largely this shouldn't be that big of a deal. Again, this wave is largely filler. And then the 4th wave is a new boss, the Needle Snake. The orb goes +2 when the boss has 2 or more debuffs active. So if they got 2 or more debuffs active and you take a turn, then the orb will just sit there and increase until the max at 20. It'll just not change. They are ice weak and melee resist. They are also unlaunchable. There's a few tricks here, unfortunately. Oh boy. If they get more than 3 debuffs or 4 or more debuffs active, they're going to get very unhappy. And they're going to cleanse and they're going to buff themselves invisibly. And they're going to be really hard to knock down. So you really don't ever want to go above 3 debuffs on them until like maybe the end. I think it's threshold based. Don't quote me. At least 3 times, I think they'll get their overhead with stacks that they get thicker. They get HP poison aura, and they have reduced HP damage taken, which is very annoying. The only way to decrease the overhead stacks is to break them, and they do a big brave gain that makes them recover from break after party member takes a turn, which makes it a bit more accessible to break them. But you need to cut them down, or else you're gonna have to deal with those overhead stacks. And once the overhead stacks are gone, then it's smooth sailing again. As long as you don't go crazy with debuffs, remember to heal near the end. This should be fine. It's selling Wakka because his RNG debuffs actually counter everything they do. The no brave gain debuff makes them easier to break in between their thresholds, and the paralysis just makes them straight up harmless. And the stat down counters the overhead. It actually, I think it directly, whatever stats they buff on the overhead, I think Wakka's debuffs straight up cancels it out. And when they don't even have that up, they're even weaker, which is pretty good. Bringing Onion Knight or Celes will allow you to use melee units because they have the enchant on them. Setzers, Freeze can work in place of Wakka either in the party to give synergy stats or as a call ability. Otherwise, just blow these guys up using normal boss rush and Lufinity tactics and you should be good. Who am I running? I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking wave 1, I'm going to do Paladin Cecil Burst, Gladio, and Trey to boost my synergy stats. Party 2 will be Aerith, Furian's Burst, and Ishtola to boost the synergy stats, and party 3 will be Squall's Burst, Onion Knight for the enchant, and Setzer to give us a synergy boost. Should be smooth sailing, and I'll be recording it when it comes out. Should be fine. I hope you guys also enjoy. And that's it. Hope you all enjoyed the clip and found it informative. I do try my best generally. If you haven't already done so, please like the video, comment what you think and your plans, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more great content. The full video is linked, so check that out as well. Continue showing love. Good luck, everybody. Peace.